Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we'll look at some of the expressions that Java has to offer. We used a very simple expression of comparing if something is equal to something, but we'll look at some other expressions that we can use. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this function that I've created earlier, and this is gonna become invalid, so we'll just get rid of that. So let's write a quick function, public. Because we're in the same class, I'm gonna make this a static function. Expressions, we'll call this function here expressions. It's a void, so it won't return anything. Let's declare two numbers, int num1 comma num2 equals 11. So I could also do it like this. I could declare them in one line like this, and now let's have int sum equals num1 plus num2, and let's see what happens if we run this function. Right, so what's happened is this main function is where the execution starts. It called the expressions function, and the expression function ran. It created two variables, initialized them, and then it calculated the sum. There's no output because we did not ask it to print, so let's do that now. Let's print sum and then rerun the program. There you go. So either you print your output or you have to return the output. So I could copy these three functions and these three statements and create another public returning an integer public int sum function, and I'm just gonna paste the three things here, and instead of printing we return sum, right? And in this function in expressions we call sum two numbers, right? And then there's an error message, so it doesn't know because it's not a static, you can't refer to that function within, so I'm going to make it static. So that's why we're adding static to each of these functions, right? So because we're not creating an object, we'll get to what functions what classes are and objects are in the later sections of the course, but this is how we have to do it for now. Sum two functions and then run it now. It's gonna do the same thing, right? But then it's sort of redundant to just have two numbers here and always calculate the same two numbers and every single time, and then we need to print this here, so it should now print 23. The other way of doing this is when you have a return for a function, you say declare a new variable, int result equals name of the function that does the return, and the return type has to match. So if I do a char here, it's gonna complain, so it has to be int. I'll tell you why it didn't work with float later in the later section. Okay, I think it's good. Now we just print result, and then we run, we get the same output. To make it look different, I can add a string here. So it's a common practice to append something to your output. So the sum is 23, which is fine. Okay, but then we don't want to be adding same two numbers, right? So let's get rid of this from here, and I want this function to have two numbers, and I want them to be passed into the function from where it's being called, right? So this is a valid syntax. This is a valid function. It's taking two numbers and adding them and returning a sum, right? So but here if you see there's a red error message, and it says create a new method with the same name. So if I click this, it'll add another function with two numbers, right? So let's get rid of that. What we're going to do is fix this here. Because it's expecting two numbers, I can pass two numbers here. I can say 12, 15, right? And this will give me 27. There you go. But then even this is not ideal. This is not how you do it. So I want to call first num comma second num, and I want to take them from the user, right? So I'm gonna do a scanner, scan equals new scanner system in. We did this in the last video as well. I want to try and explain it now. So I've got a scanner object, and what I want to do is I want to grab the first num, right? And I want to say scan.nextInt. It'll grab next integer, and I want to grab the second num, and I want to grab them from input using the next int function. But you can see it's complaining about it doesn't know what first num second num is. That's because we haven't given it a data type, or we haven't declared a variable with that name. So now if we run the function, well, earlier we did print enter first number, and this wasn't println, so copy that line and change this to second. So now it should ask for two numbers, one after the other. There we go. 11 and 34 gives you 45. But what happens when a user enters something else here, not a number? So it'll return an error. So we can deal with that error. We can deal with that as well. So it says it's throwing input mismatch exception. So you can see it here. So what we'll do is, where we are getting the scanner item, so I'm gonna call what they say try, and I'm gonna say catch exception E, and whenever there is that exception, alt enter. So I've imported the input mismatch exception up here, as you can see. Whenever this happens, I just want to print enter a proper number, right? And then exit the program. System to exit the program, we use system.exit, and then I want to say 0. 0 is a valid status to exit a program. I could do a -1 as well, or there's status codes that we'll look at in more detail later in the course. So these statements, I want to try them in this try block. So what that means is, try to run this code. If you encounter this exception, you need to just display this message and exit the program, right? So that's what that says. Actually, I can even move this printing of the result, all of it here, into the try block, right? So let's run it and see what happens. So we get asked if I enter some number, it says enter a proper number and exits with the exit code 0. But if I enter proper numbers, 12, 66, it returns me the name, the result. So that's a simple program that very easily does some calculations, grabs input, does a basic try-catch validation, so it prints out a sum from a function by passing arguments.